Hey y'all, I'm back and I'm going live for the step 2 of the Jurassic peekaboo tumbler. And this method you can use for any style peekaboo you want. You just change up the decals, whatever type you want. But all the steps are basically the same, okay? So in my very first video, okay, we did the glitter swirl for the Jurassic Park cup. And we did quite a few different glitters. So, okay, yeah, now I'm seeing that it got approved and people are starting to get the notification. Hey everybody, I'm here to show you the step 2 to the peekaboo that we started this past weekend. I think I did the tutorial, yeah, because my husband was off. So, all right, if you're here, drop a line. I'm going to wait for some people to catch this. I did set out some notifications so we can get started. That way everybody gets a chance to hop on. Yeah, okay, so we've got some people. All right, so this is step 2 to the peekaboo, okay, and we did our glitter swirl. Hey Amber. So we did our glitter swirl in the very first tutorial that I started on this, okay? And this is the same cup, all right? It got its 2 layers of epoxy and it got sanded. Hey, Tina. So this is what it looks like now. I went ahead and decaled it already, but see y'all, this is the same cup and it has 2 layers of epoxy and it was sanded, okay? Just like that. And then, of course, little feet on the bottom, and you see the swirl. So this method, like I said before, was the same glitter swirl method. And anytime, hey Brandy, anytime you guys want to rewatch the tutorials or to go along with when you're doing that cup, all you have to do is type in my name. And hey Kay, yeah, thanks Tina, it came out really nice. All you have to do is type in my name in the search bar in the top of the group and you'll find everybody's tutorials there. Bridget's, mine, LaDonna's, and anybody else who's went live in this group in the past for you to follow along with, okay? So I thought I'd bring that up because I realized that today. So this was your glitter swirl for to start your peekaboo, okay? Then I did my 2 layers of epoxy. I sanded it flat because that's the most important thing a lot of people forget with these peekaboos. If your glitter is not flat and smooth, when you spray paint, every single bump and lump will show up, okay? Does that make sense? Everything you see. Hey Dee Dee, yeah, I'm glad. I was trying to let some people know that we're asking about peekaboo tutorials. I thought, oh, well, perfect timing anyway, because I just put the decals on this cup. I've been decaling the past 2 or 3 days, and decal day is exhausting. So I got them on here. So like I said, this is the epoxy method glitter. We did the swirl on it that I showed you guys in another video. 2 layers of epoxy and it was sanded smooth. Okay, so everything is completely sealed. It's the same cup. And then I know the orange decals are kind of offsetting, but the color of your decals for your peekaboo don't matter because you're going to peel them off. Okay, and this is not the permanent 651 vinyl. This is 641 or 631, something like that, of Oracle vinyl, okay? And you can lay your decals however you want. This is just happens to be how I laid mine. And the motherhood is kind of slanted a little bit, but I was staring at decals for so long, I think my eyes started going cross. So I laid my slashes. What grit sandpaper do you use? It's the very fine one. So I use a sanding block, and this is 220 fine. And then this one, I don't know, it got cut off. It doesn't say. But they're not the really real gritty ones, because if you use one that is really, really rough, you're going to sand a whole lot more and a lot faster than you need to. You just need a finer sandpaper. But like with everything else, everybody chooses their own sandpaper differently. But I use the very fine to fine grit sandpaper. Okay. That was a good question. I didn't think about that. And so you lay your vinyl, and don't use, well, you can use, but I don't use the permanent brand of vinyl, okay? For the fact, this makes it easier to peel off. If you use removable vinyl or stencil vinyl, it makes it easier to peel off your decals for your peekaboo, okay? And so this will get one layer of black spray paint and then a cover layer of white spray paint, okay? And you will see your decals, do you wet or dry sand? Candy, I wet sand, so I'm not getting all those fine dust particles in the air and breathing it in. I wet sand, yeah. That's a lot easier to do, is wet sanding. You don't get as many rough scratches around the edges that you don't want, okay? But so like this, the bottom was sanded and everything else, so there's no lumps, bumps. When the spray paint comes on this, it's smooth. That is the most important part of your peekaboo. If you don't sand this smooth, you're gonna see everything. Yeah, no problem, Candy. You'll see absolutely everything underneath the spray paint, okay? So it's very, very important that it's smooth. So we will spray paint this black, and then we will do 2 layers of white, okay? But this is just the second step right here. You'll lay your decals over your glitter swirl. So then after you spray paint, okay, once you're done spray painting, you'll see the lumps over the spray paint of your vinyl, okay? You'll see that peeking out. What is wet sanding? So wet sanding is you wet your sandpaper, and I'll wet my cup under the sink, and your sandpaper's wet, and you sand it like that, okay? And it doesn't create as many particles or anything like that. It makes it a lot easier. So you're not getting all that dust and fine chemical epoxy in the air or on you or anything like that that you're breathing in. So then this, like I said, this will get spray painted. You will see the layer of your vinyl, okay, the thickness. You'll see that through your spray paint. This isn't gonna just blend right in and you're not gonna know where you laid your decals. I have not had any issues with seeing the outlines of my decals and pulling them off. Don't wait till your spray paint is completely dry. Because when you peel it and the spray paint is completely dry, it'll crack. Okay, the paint around it will peel off too. So you want to pull it about half an hour, I'd say, after you spray paint. My spray paint dries in an hour, but it's not completely set in an hour. It's dry to the touch in an hour, which is fantastic with the Rust-Oleum. You're welcome, Amber. So to hold the cup and pull off my vinyl, but it's still wet enough in the layers that it's not cracking when I pull it off. Okay, do y'all understand what I mean? It won't crack when I pull it off. So does anybody have any questions? I'm going to take, I don't know if y'all want to see me spray paint this. It's not any different type of spray painting than when you prep your cup. It's all the same. But I mean, if you want me to take you out back with me and show you how I spray paint it, I can. Just let me know in the comments so I can see what everybody says. But yeah, you'll see this over your spray paint. You feel the level difference of the glitter in your vinyl. Yes, spray. Okay. Yeah, I know there's a delay between what you see in comments and what I see in comments. So I always kind of wait a minute to let it pop up. Do you wait between layers of spray paint or all at once? Okay, so I'll spray it black. Okay. I'll spray it black and wait a minute. And then if I don't have a good layer of black, I'll maybe do another light layer. And then I let that sit for a minute and let it dry. And then I do the white and let that dry. I don't wait for it to be so solid dry that, like I said, it'll crack. Okay. So, okay, I'm getting all yeses for the watching me spray paint. So let me get my spray paint pipe. And I'm sorry if you can hear my kids playing their games in the background. And sadly, my husband isn't here to give anybody a peekaboo panda. He's at work tonight. All right, so this is just how I spray paint it, okay? I hold it. I don't put mine on a spray paint stand. All right. I stick this on a stick and I hold it far away from me and I spray. And I don't spray like this. I spray in strips so you don't get like drips. You want to make sure when you spray paint this, because you will see your spray paint cover, that you don't have drips or anything building up in any specific areas. You want a nice clean coat, okay? So I will set this down. Let me get my gloves on because I don't like to, try not to paint myself. So on the other tutorials I did, I guess I could show you guys the other two cups. Oh no, no Panta, LOL. Yeah, he's at work tonight. So if I do any lives this next weekend, you'll more than likely see him again. How do you prevent paint from going in the cup? You can tape the inside of your cup. I don't, because I just clean it with acetone. Okay, so when I prep, and I know there were some comments in the group asking about prepping. I think maybe Amber, you even talked about cleaning the rim of your cup and not scratching it. So like I have stuff in the inside of mine. I get a little spray paint splatter, and what I do is after your cup is ready and it cures for 3 days, I will take it and I will take my bottle of acetone and some paper towels. Okay, wear gloves when you're using the acetone. Maybe even double glove it, but I'll fold up a paper towel, put some acetone on it. You have the best tutorials. You explain everything so well and answer. Oh, thank you, Dee. I try. I know how confusing it is, and sometimes if you go too fast, you can get lost. So I try to be as detailed as I can. So I will take the acetone that you use, okay? I'll put it on a paper towel and I'll wipe inside of it and wipe it all away. If you have epoxy lips, you just take your sharp little X-Acto knife, mine's over there, and you'll pop it out. Hold on. I'll show you with my little weeding tool, okay? You'll take, this is your X-Acto knife, you'll find your little epoxy and you'll pop it out. Does that make sense? You'll just pop out, and they come clean off. They're not gonna scratch your cup. And then when you're cleaning your rims, you can warm up your X-Acto knife with your heat gun. Warm it up a little bit and then just take it along there. You don't have to like scratch really, really hard to get it off if your X-Acto knife is warm. Okay, so we're going to take this outside. I'm going to bring the phone with me. I usually have it plugged in when I'm doing live, so hopefully the battery stays charged. But I wanted to show you, when I clear sealed the smoke effect tumbler I did in my last tutorial, it ended up looking like frosted glass. And I thought that was so cool. Now I kind of don't want to put epoxy on it. It ended up looking like frosted glass. My husband actually thought it was. And I said, didn't you see me do it in front of you? Okay, so we're going to take this outside. I'm going to grab the phone. It's going to get a little wonky from me walking from my craft room to my backyard. But I already have the spray paint out there. And I will show you guys how I spray paint it, okay? So let me take you off the charger. And we're going to go outside. It's going to get a little dark. I don't have a bunch of lights on. So we're going to spray paint one coat of black and a coat of white, okay? Sorry. Hush, Lola. All right, so we have the cup. I'm going to put you right down here where y'all can see it, okay? Now we're going to do one layer of the black, okay? Just like this. This is the black I use. The matte black Krylon, okay? Just like this. And you're going to shake it up because you got to get your paint moving. You don't want clumps when you spray it, okay? So you're going to shake it. Spray paint is the hardest part for me. Yeah, Stacy, it can be. You're just going to kind of learn how to use it, okay? And you want to make sure you shake it up really well so you don't have any like splatters when you use it, okay? Now we're going to take the black and we're going to spray a coat over this, okay? Don't be intimidated, it's okay. I'm going to hold it out for me and try to show you as I go without painting my husband's barbecue grill black, okay? So I hold it out for me like this, all right? I got my black spray paint, and you're going to just go, hush Lola. Oh, I'm getting it on the phone. Let me back up. All right, just like that. Can everybody see this? Do you see the outlines of that vinyl? See how you see the outlines? That's how you know you're not going to lose your vinyl. You always see it right underneath. Okay? And that's just one good black layer. So that means when you rub this off and you peel off your decals, when you rub your rubbing spots into it, this will give you the black distress look. Okay? Does that make sense? See, you can still see them. And you only need one layer. You don't really, I do really thin layers. I mean super thin. So I will go over this in those couple of strips one more time. Okay, so I'm talking to you right now. I leave it for about a minute and let that coat dry, and then I do the second one. Okay? And don't forget your bottom. See, I didn't spray paint the bottom yet. Just like that. So I'm going to give this a second and let it dry. Okay? And see, you can still see it. See those? See how you still see the words? That's how you know you're not going to lose your decals, guys. Just like that. And nice thin strips. And it's evenly coated. You don't need a whole lot of covering. But the black underlayer is when you rub away, you'll get your distressed look. Okay? And I'm going to give this about a couple of seconds to dry. And I have a person playing music in their garage across the street. So see, that's drying. Okay? Take your white. This is the white I'm using. Alright? I'm so happy to see this tutorial. Will you be removing the decal? Yeah, I will let this sit. Because my layers are thin. My spray paint layers are really thin. Okay? Oh, good. I'm glad you guys are happy to see it. Like I said, I don't mind. I'm already doing it. So shake up your paint. Like I said, you don't want any like big chunks coming out of your bottle. And I do need to buy more white paint. Does matte or gloss matter? Stacy, I use matte. There are some rumors that gloss paint, the epoxy doesn't catch on it, but I'm not quite sure it matters. I've used gloss and it was fine. What do you rub away besides the decal? So Amber, you'll take the decals off and then you'll make your little like rub spots where your peekaboo comes out. And I'll show you exactly what I mean, okay? So now we're gonna do the white and we're gonna do layer white over the black. All right, that's your first layer of white. I don't, like I said, I always do two because I don't make it thick. Do you see how you still see my decal? Oh, good, I'm glad. You see how you still see the decal, guys? You're not gonna lose it. Your decals will still stick out. I think it's gonna rain. See that? And I'm gonna let this dry a minute before I do my second coat of white, okay? Yeah. So I'm just gonna let this dry a second and then I'll do my other coat. Yeah, and then you'll see what I mean when we start peeling it off, how you see the glitter underneath, and then I'll show you the rubbing spots, how I do those, okay? So we're gonna do our second layer of white. Okay, there's your second layer of white. And you still see the decal. Okay, if y'all know people who wanted to see a peekaboo done or anything, I'm late, so recap. You painted the cup black over the epoxy, glitter first, and now you paint. Yeah, so we did your basic glitter steps. Okay, there was a swirl underneath it that I showed in the very first tutorial. And then I epoxied it twice, sanded it smooth, and then I spray painted it with one layer of black and then 2 layers of white. Okay? And if any of y'all catch questions that I kind of already went through, if I'd not seen them, let them know for me, okay? And if there were people that wanted to see the peekaboos, tag them so that they can see the tutorial, because sometimes the tutorials get lost in like all of the posts in the group. But you can always look up my name inside the group and you'll see them, okay? So I'm going to do one more layer of the white, okay? Sorry, there's a bug. Hush. Go live with, I don't know what that was. Okay. Y'all see that? And I got I got black spray paint on my cup. What epoxy do you use? I use Amazing Clear Cast. Lola, hush. Sorry. And now the dogs begin. So, as your spray paint dries, you might want to just turn it. Just like as if it was on a turner. Shh. Sorry, y'all. So it lets it dry because there's so many layers on this, okay? So just turn it like if it was on a turner in your hand. See? Sophie, Lola, in the house. Come on. In the house. Let me put them inside. Come on. In the house. Go. Sophie, in. In. Okay. It's really humid, so my paint is kind of dripping. So yeah, I'm just going to sit here and turn it like this. The humidity is like not wanting to let it dry, but that's San Antonio for you. What did you just spray last? The white. So this has 2 layers of white. Okay, and you see this, still see the decals. The last cup I did it in pink. And then this is my first white one. Hi, Joanne. Okay, so we're just going to let this dry for about 20 minutes. this was me tonight, spray painting outside and trying to wrangle. Yeah, because as soon as my dogs see me outside, they think it's a party. White spray paint. She did 3 coats of white. Yeah. Yeah, it's just white spray paint, and because it's humid outside, it's giving me a harder time to dry. So what I usually do when I want it to dry is I have a, it's dumb, but I have a lawnmower not in use anymore where I stick this in the gas cap, and I'll use it as a stand. White paint, she did 3 coats. Yeah. Hey, Angela. So, yeah, we're just letting this dry, guys. Okay? And, like, it's not wanting to stay right here on the rim, which is fine because I'll use that as a rub spot. Make your accidents work with you. You see where it's not sticking? I'm going to use that as a rub spot, and I'll tell you what I mean when I do it. Okay? Do you see that? You'll use this as a rub spot for the rim, and it'll work great. And now you're just going to let it dry. Okay, you're going to give it about, I don't know, what time is it now? About 20 minutes. So we're just going to keep turning it while it dries. And I think my neighbors probably think I'm crazy sitting out here talking to my phone. So, but yeah, this is with the peekaboo. This is all you do. Okay? And I'm just catching whatever drips and running it around the rim of the cup. Okay? I haven't tried a peekaboo. Yeah, this one's not, once you try a peekaboo and you do it, you'll love it. You just got to let it dry. That's the longest part. Yeah, they probably think I'm crazy. Because the houses here are super close together. They don't know me anyway. And see, you still see the decals. That's how you're not going to lose them. See what I mean by you still see them underneath the paint? It works so much in your favor. I feel intimidated. Oh, you don't got to be intimidated. I kind of felt the same way before my first peekaboo. I was really anxious that I was going to do it right. And the great thing, hey girl, me either, kind of scared too. Yeah, the thing about a white is you don't always have to spray paint this white. My first one I did pink, and you don't see as much imperfections. I did a black layer and then a pink layer. You can do purple, green, whatever layer you want. It doesn't have to be white. I have an order of 8 cups. Solid color, no glitter, and I keep getting runs. So do thin layers. Thin layers in strips. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. I'm going to miss Friday, and when I get back, I will see what times are good for you to try silhouette. I tried one and failed, so I'm hoping you'll show me where I messed up. Where did you fail, Juanita? What do you mean? Like how? Like with the spray paint? Or what? And see, those little parts where it didn't catch on the rim are going to work in my favor. You'll see what I mean. But do you see? You still see all your decals. I know that was one thing I worried about, is if I spray painted over, I wouldn't see it. I have lived here where I am at 4 years and don't know my neighbors. Yeah, that's, you know, my grandma used to talk about knowing your neighbors and how important it is and blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people these days don't take the time to get to know who lives around them. It's kind of sad. So this is kind of dry. It's getting there. We're going to take it inside. It's starting to dry out. So we're going to take this inside, and all your little imperfection spots, we're going, the decal wouldn't come off. That's why I use the removable vinyl for my my peekaboo. If you use removable vinyl, it comes off a lot easier. And stencil vinyl. You can find that at Michael's. That's where I got mine. Alright, so we're going to take this inside and set it on the drying rack, okay? Let me take off my gloves so I don't get paint on the door or the phone. All right. This is going to get a little crazy. Just give me a minute. It's not like anybody spray paints inside their house. Okay. So we're coming back inside. This has been spray painted. It's starting to dry. And you don't want to wait for your cup to be completely dry. You want it to be enough dry that you can touch it while you take your decals off. Little stencil vinyl, a little light blue see-through. Yeah, like I said, I use removable vinyl. I'm trying to get it in the stand. There we go. And I can take it off. Ugh. All right. So, back to business. That's going to dry for a little bit, okay? It does not don't let it dry completely, otherwise it cracks. I had to step away for several minutes. So will you peel and wipe with acetone? Yeah, let me show you. I don't peel. I don't rub with acetone, okay? I rub with alcohol. I don't like using the acetone. I know it's easier. I do the little extra work and rub with the alcohol because I don't want to damage or mess up my layers of epoxy underneath. I don't want to mess up that seal. Does that make sense? You will peel, yeah, you'll peel them up. You see them through the spray paint. And you'll take your little weeding tool that you have, your little pick, and you'll pick at them and then pull them up, okay? If you wait till it's completely dry, the paint will crack. So try to do it about 30 minutes after you spray paint, okay? So, and that's basically what it is. The black layer gives you, when you rub it away, the distressed look, okay? And you pull up your vinyl. Don't do your rubbing first. Pull up your vinyl first. Then do your rubbing spots, okay? And then what I do to get a little black around my, I would have showed you my other peekaboo, but I have it in my bedroom. And I'd have to get up and go all the way over there. And I don't want to. If anybody minds if I holler for my kid to go get it. Nicholas! Bring me my Jurassic Park cup on my nightstand. Okay, so I'll show you that. I took some black acrylic paint on a dry bristle brush. I'll show you the red one that I never cleaned from the crime scene. So I'll take the black acrylic paint in a dry bristle brush, and I'll put this in a little medicine cup, just a tiny bit, and kind of dab it inside of it. Wipe it off, and then I'll distress around my, it's in my nightstand in my room. And I'll distress it. Hello. So I had a cup today that had like 3 coats of epoxy. It was a heavy glitter. I seen a rough spot or two, so I did another layer, but it just rolled and ran like paint. What would you do? What would you know to cause that? So your epoxy, Christy, rolled like paint? That's is that what you mean, Dee Dee? Do you wait until your paint is completely dry before you rub? Yeah, it has to be dry to the touch. If you're touching the wet paint, it's just going to make a smeary mess. So what I will also do, thanks, sweetie. Okay, so what I meant about the black, you see how I distressed around my decal? I did not rub around my decal. I took that black paint. Okay, do you see what I mean? I took the black paint around my spots. Around my slashes was black paint. Around my feet was black paint. Okay? Does that make sense? This is exactly what I'm doing on the white cup. This is what it's going to look like, except this one's pink. This is going to be your after effect. Now, the glitter I used underneath is different, and the color on the outside is different, but all steps exactly the same. All right? For a peekaboo, all your steps are exactly the same. When you know how to do this cup, you can peekaboo anything. Okay? Yes, it did not stick. It separated, I guess you would say. I would say maybe your epoxy wasn't cured enough. I've never had that. But then again, what epoxy brand do you use, Christy? Every epoxy brand is different. And for beginners, the best brand is Amazing Clear Cast. And I still use it because it doesn't affect me. I don't have a lot of bubbles. It still shines like glass to me. I know a lot of people complain about yellowing, but like I said, this is the very first cup I ever made using Amazing Clear Cast. I have not had any yellowing. Not at all. It does have a yellow sparkle to it, but not an actual yellow tint. Okay? And I made this quite a long time ago. And have used it since. That's the first cup I ever made. But once you learn these steps, guys, you can peekaboo any cup you want. Okay? But yeah, I would say it might depend on your brand of epoxy. I use Amazing Clear Cast. Okay? Yeah. Amazing Clear Cast. How old is that cup? My coffee cup? Quite a while. Several months at least. And it's been out in the sun, everything. I have not had it yellow at all. I painted a cup purple, epoxied, glittered, then epoxied. Can I still peekaboo? Oh yeah, you can peekaboo. Anytime you have a glitter cup that didn't work out the way you wanted it, like that glitter cup was a hot mess. It was all kinds of colors. And it doesn't work out the way you want it, peekaboo it. Throw some decals on, spray paint over it, pull it off. I use Amazing and love it. Yeah, I have not had any problems with Amazing Clear Cast, so I stick to what I like. Do you have any cups with multiple glitter colors that you can show us to put underneath paint? Yeah, so perfect example, minus the decals. I decaled this for the past few days because these fonts are super thin and they can be a pain in the butt. And you can peekaboo this. You spray paint right over it, and everything you peel off shows underneath. Okay? Just like that. So you would layer, say I took those decals off, right? I layered the vinyl and then I pulled it off. You would see all of that glitter underneath. Do you have any cups with multiple glitters that you can sort of put underneath? But that's kind of what this great tutorial cup is for, because it has many different colors underneath. Yeah. This, my first peekaboo was actually an alcohol ink cup that did not work in my favor. So I threw an opal glitter over it. Tears of My Enemies from Glitter Chimp. And you can use any opal glitter and it'll show the colors underneath, and it looked really cool. You can see all the different colors. And then I peekabooed it. Yep. This was actually originally an alcohol ink cup. And I mean, that's why I said, if you have cups that you're just not feeling, you can always turn it around and make something else. When doing the final layer, does the epoxy ever take any of the spray paint off? No, because when I do my final layer of epoxy, my spray paint is completely set. Your lives are amazing. I've been watching as many as I can. So helpful. Oh, thank you, Brittany. That's all. The only reason I do it is I want to help everybody. Tears of My, yeah, that's a great opal glitter where it just brings out underneath colors. But so many other companies have great glitters like that. Maybe it was just one of those things. I wiped it with 91% alcohol and sanded, redid. So far, so good. So hopefully a coat or two. Well, yeah. And you can always like fill in gaps that way. That's a great way to fill in your gaps. Can you do a peekaboo with mica and glitter, or do you got to use spray paint? Yeah, there's peekaboos where, like, a lot of people didn't think this was spray paint because this shines in the light. Sorry, my phone keeps vibrating. Because this shines in the light, because I put magic dust in my top coat. They thought it was a double glitter peekaboo. You do the same thing. If you do a double glitter peekaboo, you epoxy, you put the peekaboo, you let your epoxy thicken, and then you pull your vinyl. How long do you let your turner spin before you turn it off? I leave my turners on overnight. They don't get hot. I got 3 turners from Amazon that work great, and a turner my husband built. And I leave them on all night. Yeah. How long till you add decals to it? So anyone use crystallite? So for decals, I do my base layer. I'll glitter my cup, I seal it twice, I sand it, I decal it, I seal it. That's my process right there. Does that make sense? So I'm thinking this is kind of dry. Let me touch just a tad. Oh yeah. So we're going to take our cup and we're going to start pulling off the decals, and you'll see what I mean. Now see what I meant when I showed you my spray paints? They dry really fast, and it wasn't drying as quickly outside because it's humid here and I think we're going to get rain. Okay, so now I'm going to show you. See, watch, when I touch it, it's dry. Okay, so now we're going to pull off our decals. You're going to take your weeding tool. I just started out with 2 turners. Now I have 5. Yeah, Christy, your turner amount is going to grow quickly because you're going to want to make so many cups at once. Okay, and I'm thinking I have another cup idea in mind. I have some UV reacting glitter coming in that I was going to do a tutorial on and show you guys. I was thinking of doing a layering project. I've seen some other people do. If anybody's interested in that, it's different layers of pictures in different layers of epoxy. So it kind of builds and shows your pictures like that. Do you ever have issues with decals lifting up? No, and I think it's because I don't use permanent vinyl. I use the repositional vinyl. I started with 2 and up to 9. Yeah, Candy, it grows really quick. So what we're going to do is, let me see. Let me grab something simple first. All right. Let me dry off my hands. My hands are all sweaty because it's humid. So I'm going to go for these lines right here. See the claw marks? What kind of spray paint do you use? I missed it. Rust-Oleum White Matte. We're going to peel off these stripes right there. Where you get your vinyl. Michael's, typically just because it's right here. Okay. Where's my tweezers? So what I do is I'll pick at the vinyl. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can show you. I'll grab what I pulled up. Look at that. See that little piece? Grab it with your tweezers. Make sure I'm pulling the right way. I mean, after epoxying with decals. Oh, I do, I'll sand and then add my decals. Do y'all see that? Did you get your claw marks on Google? Yeah, after this live, I'll drop, because I made the files for my cup myself. Since I didn't purchase them from anybody and I did them myself, I can drop them in the comments free of guilt. So then you guys can grab them and use them however you want, okay? All right, so we're gonna grab the next claw mark. And you go right at the tip and you just push a little. Don't push super hard. And yes, my little fingerprints are gonna get on the white paint. I'm not worried about it. All right, I'm gonna grab it with my tweezers. Okay. And pull. Yeah, I don't mind, Dee. If I make it myself, then I'm just pulling my images off of Google and then I doctor them up in my silhouette. Do y'all see that? You just pull them right off. I mean, yeah, just like that. And I take my tweezers and pull. I know there's a delay, so I always hold it a little longer for you guys. Y'all see? You just pull it right off. I didn't worry about losing it or anything. I just popped it right on there. Okay. So we're gonna work on the big decal, okay? And I'm gonna have to face it towards me, but I'll turn it towards you. So you're gonna go to your first little line, okay? Grab it with your tweezers. And I cut my circle. Okay, you see how I'm pulling that? I always snip my circle because I like pulling it in a strip. That way the circle comes off as one. Look at that. And I'm trying to turn the cup as I pull. This is why I cut it in strips. Thank you for the files and amends. Yeah, no problem. If I make it myself, I have no problem sharing it. But if I purchase it, I try to give the buyer that I purchased it from some kudos. Okay? You see what I mean? Don't wait for the spray paint to be completely dry. It's dry to the touch, but it's not dry underneath all of it. So that means it comes up super easy. Okay? So we're going to do the next little bit. Okay. And I cut my strips to pull. How do you put the vinyl on with no bubbles? Just, I just put it on, like I layer it. As I push it down, I'll lay it on like that and push as I go. Okay? So now we're going to pull the vinyl for this. Okay. And then this one comes, and then I cut this one. Okay, see what I mean? I cut it, so I'm only pulling strips at a time. So I'm not pulling too much. I attempted a peekaboo with mica swirl base and glitter on top. Total disaster. You make this look easy. Oh, you're welcome. I can try to do different layers of peekaboos for you guys too. Just to show you, other than spray paint layers, like a double glitter base, stuff like that. And see, I'm just pulling. I'm not pulling real hard. I'm letting the decal do the work. And this is up by the dinosaur. So I'm going to cut it so I pull the dinosaur correctly. And I'm going to leave me that little tip. Okay? I just ordered tools for Silhouette. I've always used water slides because I don't know how to use Silhouette. I can't wait to learn. You're an amazing person. Oh, thank you, Joanne. Yeah, I'll come on here and show you basic Silhouette tutorial. When you buy a Silhouette, when I bought mine on Amazon, I got the package. Okay, and see how like that's 2 pieces? I'm going to cut that too. That's just easier for me. Like I said, you guys don't have to do it the same way I do. All right, and we're going to peel it. Peel it right up. Okay, I'm going to leave the dinosaur and I'll show you. You guys see that glitter underneath? Isn't that pretty? I told you, even though it looked like a hot mess, it would come out nice. So you're going to take your tweezers and you're just going to pull all the little pieces you leave for yourself. I want to do this for a male nurse next week, as it's Nurses Week. I thought I would do it with a black base and wood grain over it. Yeah, you could do it like that. I mean, with peekaboos, it's however you want. That's kind of the beauty of it. So this is a bit bigger piece. So I pull little by little. Okay, you see that? Y'all see it? I know the comments and everything are slow, so you can always just throw a thumbs up so I know that you're seeing what I'm seeing. Okay. Is the cup still wet? No, look. Like I said, my paint dries really well. That's okay, Mila. You can ask all the questions you like. That's totally why I'm here. I'm not irritated. I have 2 kids, so I'm used to repeating myself. I've gotten to where it doesn't irritate me at all. Okay. So now we're going to do the dinosaur. Now everybody reads it differently. Now sometimes they leave the dinosaur white and they do the background glitter. And sometimes people do it the other way around. I'm just showing you how I do mine. Okay? Yeah, the colors, these are awesome. These came out really well. So we're going to pull the dinosaur now. All right? And just gently, guys. Don't try yanking this apart. Okay, I'm going to try to get a better hold of this thing. The dinosaur is the biggest part. And I will turn this around. I just got to make sure I'm pulling this in the right direction. Okay, y'all start to see it? Okay, y'all see? Look. I'm going to try to turn this around. How is it not pulling paint up too? If the paint is dry, I'm surprised it's not. I know when you paint or yeah, it's just because of the type of spray paint. And like I said, I showed you guys. I sprayed it. What, we waited 20 minutes? Not even, I think. And we talked about other stuff, and then we came and we pulled it. If you wait till the walls are dry, you peel paint. Yeah. For some, if you wait for this to dry completely, you'll, your decals will seal in with the paint. Just pull gently because you'll lose all your little white detail. See, you can even see the teeth. Yep, just like that. Y'all see it? Okay, and now we're going to pull our letters. I love the colors. Yeah. Like I told you, the glitter swirl itself looked like a hot mess, but peekabooing it is awesome. Okay. Now here come the words. It's still a little wet. You're just going to hold it up in a good lighting so you see your letters. So I know it's dry to the touch, but is it? Yeah, it's still a little tacky, and that's what you want. That's how you're going to be able to do this without cracking your paint when you peel your vinyl. Because if you do peel your pieces when it's completely solidly dry, it'll crack. See? I'll have to catch the replay. Can't keep my eyes open. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I know it's kind of late, but sometimes that's the only time I can, but that's a great thing. This group saves it. Okay. And you just kind of take it See that little piece that I'm pulling? Just like that, guys. See? And so what I'm going to do after all of this is pulled is I'm going to smoke it. I'm going to rub it in my spots, and then I'm going to smoke it to give it a really good distress look. Does that make sense? And I'll use my little bit of black paint around my decals. It's so satisfying. I like laying down and focusing on your lives. Oh, thanks. I guess they're peaceful. And so you're just going to keep going around. You'll hook your vinyl onto your little pick. You'll start to pull it. I grab my tweezers. Gives me better grip than my fingers. And then I'm not touching the cup so much. See? I know peekaboos can be terrifying because you're always afraid you're going to pull the wrong part. And that's not going to happen. You weed this before you put it on your cup. Okay, so you'll weed your picture and then you'll lay your picture. The smoke won't get on the epoxy area. So, no, what I mean is I'm going to pull all of the vinyl, okay? We'll take all of our pieces off. And then we're going to use our candle and smoke it. Smoking it as in using a candle. Yeah, Amber. I think it'll give it a really good looking distressed vibe without using a ton of black paint. And I don't do like humongous, I know you see some cups where they have humongous rubbing spots. I don't do a ton of those because I already have so many decals. Does that make sense? I do some, but not like huge to where you only have a little bit of paint left because I want to detail the paint with the smoke. So I will leave a little more paint on it. See? And those glitters look amazing. Am I right? Remember, they're color shifting glitters. And I know the cup looked a hot mess before it was done. When my husband saw it, he was like, what in the world are you doing with that thing? And I said, don't worry, honey, it'll be a beautiful masterpiece. I meant the smoke won't go on the glittered area. No, the smoke won't cover the glittered area. The smoke will only attach to the paint. So the smoke will only attach to where you have your spray paint. Do you seal the smoke before epoxy? Sometimes I let it sit and soak into the paint overnight. You can seal it. I sealed that blue smoke effect tumbler we did. I sealed that and it looked really awesome because it ended up with that clear matte spray. I didn't use a gloss. I used a matte spray and it looks frosted. It looks pretty cool. So this one I sealed. And it looks frosted. See how it's not super shiny? It looks like a frosted piece of glass. Yeah. My husband thought it was glass. So then, like I said, you just get a little piece. See where I started that piece? That's all you're going to do. Okay? Now, I don't necessarily know if you guys are interested in sitting here and watching me peel all of this because it does take a while. But I decided not to like fast forward just for the fact you guys can see. because I know it's getting late. And the vinyl part, your detail parts are always going to take the longest. But you're just going to go through and keep peeling. Okay, I'm almost done with the motherhood part and then I'll throw it. What size PVC pipe do you use? Is it a pool noodle inside? Yep. Pool noodle that I kind of cut apart that came with my 3 turners. When you order the turner I did on Amazon, the package comes with foam, stands, and stuff like that. So this PVC pipe is, I don't even know. The thin one? I have no idea what size. I'd have to ask my husband. I'll put it on there when he gets home. I'll drop it in the comments and let you know, Erica. But yeah, it's just a pool noodle and a PVC pipe. It's one of the thinner ones. I think it's 3/4 inch. Just take your tweezers. And pull. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome, Erica. I'll let you know. It's just a piece of PVC pipe. My husband makes like different decorations for the holidays. Like we're one of those crazy Christmas houses, Halloween houses. So he has a bunch of like spare tool parts sitting around. So when I picked up this, that helped a lot. But yeah, let me show you. Yeah, it's either a 1/2 inch or a 3/4 inch. I can't remember. And I know it says somewhere on here, but they all have paint on them. I know you got them at Lowe's. So yeah, you're just gonna keep going through. Keep your pick clean so you don't get any extra pieces. Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. Yeah, I really like this, y'all. And like I said, I use my tweezers. I'll pick a little bit and pull with my tweezers. I'm going to turn this sideways for that S. These letters are smaller. I'm sorry if you can hear my kids. They're playing games and getting all excited. He's jumping up and down upstairs playing Fortnite. See? I used chunky glitters, and then the red swirl was fine glitter. But like I said, I'm not worried about any of these splashes from the rim because I'm going to rub those areas, and that'll be my detail areas. Okay? Yeah, these are all chunkies except one. One is the red, the chameleon red. Hello, so did you glitter epoxy vinyl spray paint? So I did the basic glitter method. I did the swirl. Okay, I epoxied it twice. I sanded it. I laid my decals. See, the most important thing when you do these is that your cup is smooth. Any lumps and bumps, you will see. I cannot hang anymore. Work comes early. Have a great night. I will catch the replay. All right, Dee. Yeah, good night. I'll probably hop off here and finish, and then I'll post a picture. Because I know it's getting late, and everybody wants to go to bed. I've been watching some of the new shows, like the new episodes of Good Witch on Netflix. Thank goodness it's bedtime soon. Okay, so I'll just show you guys one more part of the detail, and I'll let you go. I know it's getting late, especially on East Coast. Okay, so I'm going to go through and pull all of my little vinyl pieces, and then I'm going to rub through them. Okay, and I'll post a picture when I'm finished, and I will go live again when I seal this, and I will tell you guys exactly how I did it. All right, so I hope everybody stays safe. Thank you for joining me tonight. I have loud kids too. Yeah, my boys are complete loud boys. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. If there's any other tutorials you guys want to see me do, you can message me privately. You can message me on my personal craft page, which is H&M Expressions. I will drop the files for you in the comments. After peeling, you completely let the spray paint set before epoxy. Yeah, Amber, I'll let that, I'll peel it, I'll rub it, and then I'd let it set overnight, and I'll epoxy it tomorrow. Okay, and I'll smoke it, and then let it set, definitely. So, thank you all for joining me. I hope I answered everybody's questions. You can save these, I believe. You can also always search them in the group, okay? And, message me if there's anything you guys would like to see, different things like that. Can't you video and share your next steps? Yeah, I'll go live again. What's today? Tuesday. I'll go live again tomorrow night if you guys want, and we'll go through all the steps in that I did after I got off. Okay, and we'll discuss it in detail tomorrow night. That way it's not so late. Okay. So, all right, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it, and everybody keeping up with my lives. I'm very overwhelmed and surprised that they're as popular as they are. So, everybody have a great night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will talk to you soon. Okay?